Okay, so I'm back. I hope this will be a better view for you. I was having some technical difficulties. Um, Today I wanted to talk about resist just because I was exploring ways to do resist on oriental papers, which are much thinner. So, for demonstration purposes, and because I haven't totally solved what I'm trying to do, I'm going to talk about resist with watercolor. So I'm just going to take some black sumi ink right now and just paint over what I thought was going to be resist. And then what you basically have to do is paint the resist down. I think it's starting to show up. And then it needs to dry, and then you basically rinse it with, clear water. The biggest part is not to stain the edges. So, okay. So I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes while I share. And I just put some strokes on here and some leaves. Might look like a little bamboo, but it wasn't done specifically for that. And this piece was actually done earlier, so it's dry. And let's see, just moving the weight out of the way. So I used two different products here. And the first one was a product that is produced by Turner Acrylic. It's acrylic wash. It's a Japanese paint, and it actually they call it gohun, which the correct word is gofun, and it is supposed to have white shell or grounded shells in it. But it actually came out a little stronger, but it might be that I used more of the paint on it. So I just took my paper, took my brush, and then painted on it. And so you're actually looking at the mirror image of it. And then this one, which would be on you viewing your left, but on my right, it's just no, it's zinc white Winsor Newton gouache. And that was put under there. And again, I think we probably could get similar results by using any of the products. So this one's still drying. So I'm going to put that aside for a second and move this piece out of the way. And what I did earlier was I painted, let's see if how that shows up. I painted some different products. So it says Winsor Newton, just regular masking fluid. It comes in a bottle. It's cream color. Just make sure it doesn't say permanent. However, permanent may work really well in this case. So it looks like my head's kind of cut off the video. But masking fluid is something you paint on your paper, let it dry, and then you can apply watercolors over it. And then when you're done, you basically, it just rubs off. It's almost like a rubber cement, which I would probably try next. And then paint over it, and it resists it and keeps the white of the paper. So I've been experimenting with different things that they say will resist ink. I know I would just use the Winsor Newton masking fluid to get what I needed. Here I put the Winsor Newton zinc white gouache. Here is the Turner Japanese color um, Doc Martens Bleed Proof White, which I use a lot in watercolor paintings to add highlights or a dot on an eye. It's very opaque. You may have to thin it out, you know. And here I put an oil pastel. This is a Dick Plix I found, and just made that. You can use white crayons or crayons because they have wax, and you could also try candles because of the wax. It repels the paint or the ink. And down below here, I don't know if you could, let's see, let's move it and see if it comes into the screen better. I didn't realize we were so cut off. Um, there's white acrylic paint, so maybe it needs to go the opposite way. Sorry, everything's kind of backwards today. Let's see if that moves it. I think we're still out of the zone, but what I can do is start applying the ink to it. Okay, it moved over a little bit. I think it's just my iPad screen. So I'm just gonna paint right over. I'm probably using a little bit too much ink here. And we will see if it resists. Of course, working with white on white isn't the best choice. Now this Neo color is a white, basically watercolor stick, so that doesn't seem like it's great choice. And here is my white acrylic. So it's always fun to try different things because you may wind up with a better choice than what's conventionally used. Ooh. I don't know if my white sponge, let's try a piece, will pick up ink, picks up watercolor, but let's try it. Something I've never done before either. Oh, it's picking up some. There we go. I kind of cleaned up. Oh, be careful if the ink is on a different spot. Okay, so you can't really tell. You have to wait till it dries. This one's still really wet, but I can see underneath. I can see my stroke and some bamboo leaves that I did. So what I need to do now, when it completely dries, which you won't be able to see, but I'll post it so you can see the images, what it looks like after I rinse these with water. And that's the best way to test it out first before you start. Now, if you're doing experimental art, I really like the oil pastel is just repelling because of the wax. I don't think the Doc P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White is going to work in the Neo color, but that's something to find out. And there was another suggestion to use an Acuma, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's a ceramics product, and it's a wax resist. And I haven't tried that, but that was another thing. And then, of course, good old rubber cement, which is inexpensive. That might be the easiest. Now, the problem is it's going to resist, but will I be able to get it off of the paper? Definitely on watercolor paper or some other papers, but I don't know about Asian papers just because they're so thin. And the product that's recommended, I have to order from a company outside of the country, and I don't know how long that will take. So I hope this is helpful. Um, Please let me know, ask me some questions, and I will see you next Friday morning at 10 a.m. Have a great weekend. This is Elaine M. Bergstrom. You can find these same videos on YouTube. If you have a friend who's not on Facebook, please share so that they can learn to what they may not know. So please like me and share the videos. And please join me next Friday with possible questions. You can always send me questions ahead of time and join in. Thank you.